Welcome to this Monday's edition of Sports Monday. I am Paul Lopez. Tonight, we will be bringing you the stats and highlights from the U13 Elite Boys Championship, the Belize Inter-Office Basketball League, and the Men's National Team Basketball Open Tryouts. We begin our coverage with the Football Federation of Belize's U13 Elite Boys Championship, which came to a close at the FFB Stadium in Belmopan on Saturday. The top 4 teams in the competition, San Pedro, Stan Creek, Belize, and Cayo, went head-to-head for first, second, and third place. These young athletes showed out in character, discipline, and their love for the sport. But in the end, only one team claimed the title of champions. Here is a look at how it all played out. The first match of the day kicked off at 1 p.m. on the football pitch at the FFB Stadium in Belmopan. The San Pedro and Stan Creek U13 boys faced off for third place. At the end of the official playing time, the match was tied at 2 goals apiece. San Pedro eventually took home the third place victory in a penalty shootout, scoring 4 goals in a dominant display over Stan Creek's 2 penalty goals. We spoke with Martin Vasquez, the FFB competitions director, about the tournament.
One of the things I want to mention about this tournament is that it has been a total success. It went from a period of 7 weeks' time. We had a total participation of 10 regions. So each region, we have divided football into 10 regions. So each one of them has a participation. And from the very beginning, we have the games ongoing. Each one of the teams played a total of 4 games. And up to this point, we managed to get the San Pedro and Stan Creek, who are fighting for the third place. And then at 3 o'clock, we'll be having Belize City versus Cayo for the first place. The intention for this program is to have our players be able to develop. It's basically addressing the need for the players so that from this age, you can start to identify talent in the players. So whenever they start to move on to the other level at either U15 or U17, which we'll be having next year.
As you heard, the Belize and Cayo teams squared off for first and second place. Belize would go on to win the match with a commanding 5-2 goal victory. Team Belize's Gillian Nunes was the most effective in this match with a hat-trick. The Football Federation of Belize has begun to place priority on player development and technical skills, starting with children at 4 years old, as Philip Marin, the Technical Development Director at FFB, explained.
We have created a long-term player development plan where we will focus on these kids from early age, from 4 years old, so they can learn the different motor skills. And when they come to the federation at the age of 6, then they will be introduced to the basic football elements. We're trying to see how we can structure the player development in different stages. Starting at U6, then we move to U9, then we go to U11, then we move away from the academy and go into the regional and the national competition development, where we introduce competition to these kids at the regional level from U13, boys and girls.
In the individual awards categories for the U13 Elite Boys Championship, Shane Vernon walked away with Best Goalkeeper. Dion Main won Best Defense. Barack Mori was awarded MVP and Best Midfielder, while Marlon Mesa took home most goals and Best Forward. A pool of 40 players from all 10 participating regions will be selected by FFB for further development.
One of the things that we have been able to identify is that we have seen 2 things. The one most important is that we have seen the players enjoy and having fun. That's one of the key things in this game. And we have also been able to identify by having our technical staff who are monitoring these players. From these players, we'll be having a pool of 40 players throughout the whole country of Belize, which we'll be working with for upcoming tournaments. So this will be basically, we are scouting out our best players. So on a weekly basis, we have each of the regions submit their best 9 players, and from that players, we're going to scout the best 40 players.
The Football Federation of Belize President Sergio Chuk, the Executive Committee, management, and all stakeholders congratulated all 10 participating elite selections in the Elite Boys Championship. Moving on now to the Belize Inter-Office Basketball League in memory of Ian Mariano Sr. On Friday night, 6 teams faced off in 3 action-packed basketball matches inside the Mexico Center in Belize City. The Central Health Customs Enforcers took on the DigiWallet Bucks. The Belize Coast Guard Belize Port Authority went up against the Grace Kennedy Limited's Kings, and the National Sports Council, Belize City Council, clashed with the Belize Water Service. The Central Health team was victorious over the DigiWallet Bucks in a 52-49 points finish. The Belize Coast Guard defeated the Grace Kennedy Limited Kings in a 53-49 points ball game. The game between the National Sports Council and BWS ended with a buzzer beater at a 54-56 points in favor of BWS. The Inter-Office Basketball League is 12 matches away from the end of the regular season. We spoke with Winder Ellington, the director of the league.
Right now, as you can see, the tournament is coming to an end. We are basically 5 days, which is about 10 to 12 games away from the ending of the regular season. And this is where you will see a lot of the team fighting for 4 spot, because there will only be 4 teams that will be advancing to the playoff. So far, right now, 1 team has clinched the playoff, which is tough enough because they haven't lost any game as yet. But aside from that, we have the Belize Coast Guard that teams up with Port Authority, that is in 2nd place. Then we have the Central Health / Custom fighting for a spot, Belize City Council, Sports Council fighting for a spot, BWS fighting for a spot. So, but out of all of those teams, there are going to be 4 solid teams that will be able to make it to the playoff.
This week's IBL matches are scheduled for Thursday, Friday, and Sunday inside the Mexico Center. And to more basketball news, a men's national team open tryout was held on Sunday at the Belize Civic Center. The tryout was hosted to select a national team to compete in the upcoming FIBA 2023 United Cup in the Dominican Republic. We spoke with the organizers of that event about the tryouts.
We have our international coach that came in to recruit guys to take them to Dominican Republic to play for a cup, right? He's here today, and I believe we have a good turnout of like 80 people supposed to be there today, you know, and we'll look for at least 15 guys to take the Dominica to participate in this tournament.
I think it's very important because what we're trying to do is do things differently than how it used to be done. Back in the days when they used to have national team tryout, it used to be a special invite. So unless you were invited, you couldn't have an opportunity. So since this federation took over, we're trying to do it different. We don't want to exclude anyone. So we had an open tryout where anybody who feels like they have enough talent can come out, impress the coaches, and get an opportunity to represent their country.
And today's the first day I'm getting a chance to evaluate some of the local professional players and some of the younger talent. And my job is to try to get the best nucleus of players that I can find that can compete, because you know we're going to see professional teams in the DR. Costa Rica's national team will be there. We'll have a couple of American teams, so there'll be 6 to 8 quality teams that are on the professional level. These guys will get to compete against in January.
And that's it for all your stats and highlights. For this week's edition of Sports Monday, I am Paul Lopez.